Our technical case as of late remains intact in Bitcoin. It looks overstretched on multiple levels, let alone sentiment-wise. In this episode, we'll take a close look at why Bitcoin is likely in for a price bounce, yet in the shape of a bull trap. For as far as the technical clues go for now, whatever we're facing is likely not gonna bear fruit enough to bring us up to new all-time highs. Far from it. But first, not financial advice, and if you appreciate what I'm about to share with you in this very episode, then please consider returning the favor by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. First, let's take a quick glance at the ongoing technicals. On the 4-hour chart, Bitcoin has been consolidating in a triangular shape for some 10 days now, in what could prove to be a minor accumulation. This thesis will remain for as long as Wednesday's lower bullish red buy signal stays in play. Any break below it, and the odds will quickly swap for a bearish continuation. Ideally, what I want to see from here on is for the daily RSI to find its way back up towards the 45 to 50 area and then retrace back for a solid lower bullish red closing. Such event would stipulate that Bitcoin will be ready for further upside to follow. And as those of you know already who follow this channel with cult-like devotion, thank you very much, many of those situations tend to get stopped out, and that's fine. The RSI strategies have an average win rate of around 35%, which means that roughly 2 out of 3 trades do get stopped out. Whenever we stumble upon a winner, however, they tend to run far and fast alike, whereas the losers make themselves known at a minimal loss. The first major sign, however, that Bitcoin won't make it towards new all-time highs is how Bitcoin blew its chance at the weekly lower bullish red signal from mid-January. And what typically happens whenever a lower bullish red buy signal gets stopped out is that the price will lose significant value within the upcoming 50 candles, as in the upcoming year from now. And so far it's done a good job at peaking at a minus 30% at most. But this does by no account mean that the price will continue to tumble over. In fact, it's rather common for the price to take a deep final breath of air before ultimately letting go. And that's exactly where our bull trap pump case comes into play. So let's now take a look at a bullish observation to support a relief rally situation. This graph illustrates two things. This one, with the regular candles, is the Bitcoin price, whereas the orange line represents Bitcoin longs on Bitstamp. Logically, one would assume that the higher the long frequency, the higher the risk of a crash, but as counterintuitive as it may sound, it's actually the very opposite. And we need not go further back than a year and a half to the beginning of this extended and complex price move to see that the low long points occurred at extreme price highs and vice versa. And right now we have a long all-time high and a significant local and pivotal price bottom. I leave the maths for you. The final reason and piece of the relief rally at best type of technical case that we've been building lately ever since Bitcoin blew its open goal opportunities in the shape of multiple lower bullish red setups on the daily chart and the 2-day charts is this right here. What you see is Marathon's internal strength relations versus that of Bitcoin's spot price. This is a chart we resorted to many times before. What bothers me with this one, the very thing that punches hole in any long-term bullish aspirations, is how it opened this week's candle below this key horizontal zone. Now, this is really bad news from a technical point of view. Sure, we might very well see a revisit into this very zone here, but the plug has yet been pulled and I am not optimistic. For as mentioned in this episode, if the overall markets have topped out as we prophetically discussed 2 weeks before reaching their all-time highs, Bitcoin's done with too for a long time to follow. So what levels then are we looking at in the case of a bull trap type of relief rally? Thank you for asking. We're looking at the following ones, which we'll go into technical detail about once they become relevant. 34 to 35,000, 39,750 to 40,300, and the intimidatingly thick cloud at $44,500 to $48,000, at which Death himself will likely get the final word amongst the Bitcoin maximalists. And with those words, I'm gonna make myself a Friday Negroni.